Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a story time video. I was kind of hesitant about doing a story about this, but I say why not, because it did happen to me and I want to share it with you guys. So the story begins on a Sunday. Me and my friend was like, let's go out to the club, and because it was super different for us because we never went out on a Sunday, because I was like, who goes out on a Sunday? Like, no one I know goes out on a Sunday. So I was like, okay, let's just go out, see what's happening out on Sunday. So we ended up going to a bar first, and we got little drinks, and then we ended up going to the club that was next door to the bar. And surprisingly, the club was super packed. There was like wall to wall of people. It was super turned. I had like lots of fun. And then like the club was closing, the lights were turning on. You know how when the club's closed, lights turn on and you can see what everybody actually looks like. And my friend was feeling this guy, and they were about to exchange numbers, and then this girl came up to my friend and was like, hey, I'm so and so's baby mama. And we're like, what the heck? Because one of my friends is talking to a guy that has a few baby mamas, and apparently she was saying like, oh, why are you talking mess about me and about her? So the baby mom was like, why are you talking about mess to my friend? And I was like, whoa, because we don't even know this girl. Like, why are you coming up to my friend like that? So I was kind of like trying to wedge myself in between, like, you need to, like, you know, calm down. And she pushed me, and then she started hitting my friend like in the face, and I was like, holy crap. And I feel like there was just so much going on, and my wig was like slipping back, and I was like, oh snap. And then security came, and they were like, you guys need to leave. But it was all good because the club was over anyway, so we basically got kicked out of the club. And I don't know, it was just a whole bunch of hot like mess for nothing, basically, because we didn't even know that girl at all. And so apparently they were going back and forth throughout the week, but not necessarily talking to each other. They just went back and forth, like doing petty stuff and stuff like that. So this leads me up to Thursday, and my friend hit me up like, oh, do you want to go to this club? And I was kind of iffy about it because I know that the guy she's talking to and the baby mamas go to that club. So I was like, I don't want to get into this drama. It's like stupid. Like, are we going for round two? Like, I wasn't about that. So I was like, nah, girl, we don't need to do that. Like, I feel like it's a setup. Like, no, don't put yourself up for that. Like, that's crazy. So she was agreeing with me, and she was like, okay. So later that day, like the afternoon, she called me back, and she was just like, oh, my sister really wants to go to the club. And I was like, okay, maybe it'll be different because it's going to be 3 of us. So I was like, okay, well, hopefully there's not drama. This was the beginning of my birthday weekend. I was ready to turn up. So I was like, okay, let's just go out, and hopefully there's no drama at all. So when it hit the nighttime, I was getting ready. My friend hit me up again, and she was just like, oh, my sister is upset about what happened on Sunday, and she's heated and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, I really don't want to get into a fight, because I'm not a fighter. Like, if I don't have to fight, I don't want to fight at all. Like, I'm just not a fighter. So she was just like, yeah, I understand that you don't fight. If me and my sister get in a fight, you don't have to worry about it. Like, I feel like we got it, because I know that she's just ready to fight anybody. They were both ready to just fight anybody, and I was just trying to go to the club to have some fun. So so we hung up the phone. I finished doing my makeup. They came and they got me, and then we went to the club, and I felt like they were already revved up for a fight. And so we went into the club, and there's like, in the club there's a inside part and then there's outside part. So we ended up going outside, and where we were sitting, you can see everybody coming into the club. So you can see the line to the club and people coming in. So my friend was basically updating her sister with all the girls that have drama with us. So basically she was just like, those girls have beef with Jasmine. Those girls have beef with Jasmine, which is me. And the reason, there's a few group of girls that they have beef with me, and I have a video on it already. It's on like one of my favorites video. I'll leave the link in the description box below so you guys can check that out, why those girls have beef with me. So and then she showed the guy that she was talking to, and then like the baby mamas and stuff like that, and then she showed her sister, my 2 guy friends too. So like, oh, I want to go say hi to them, but my friends, like my friend and her sister, didn't want to go with me, so I kind of just separated myself anyways. So I just started talking to them, and eventually after I got done talking to them, because they wanted to go back inside and we were staying outside, so I went back to my friend and her sister, and basically they just seemed like they were just upset from the jump, and I just wanted to have fun. So eventually I was like, oh, let's, you know, go dance or something. So we went to the dance floor, and for some reason we got separated. So when I got to the dance floor and I looked behind me, I was like, okay, where'd they go? So I went back, and I saw them arguing with one of the girls that have beef with me. So I was like, what the heck is happening? Like, what happened? And nobody told me anything. They're just like, whatever, let's go to the dance floor. And they started dancing. We danced for like literally 3 minutes, not even. And when we were dancing, this one girl came up to us and was like, hey, can I dance with you guys? And I was like, yeah. And when like the 3 minutes came up, like they were done. They were just like, I'm just over it. They were just angry because what have happened with that girl earlier. They're just like, I don't even want to be on this dance floor. So they went back outside, and I stayed inside with that girl that I met. I was like, I'm just gonna stay here and dance with her because I wanted to have fun. Like, I just wanted to have fun and just bump all the beef. And then I started talking to my guy friends because I saw them on the dance floor, and then the girl that started something with my friends what came up to those guys because they're like friends from high school apparently or something, and the girl's like, she was like, da 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 da, like talking about my friend and her sister. Like, what the hell happened anyways? And she's like, whatever, be talking to me. She was like saying stuff like about me. Like my guy friends were like defending me, saying like, well, what did she do? Like, I literally didn't do anything because I wasn't even a part of that. So I was like, why is she over here talking mess to me? So I was like, whatever. So I started dancing with that girl that I met earlier again, and then eventually I went back outside because I was like, if they could just talk about whatever they want to talk about me, I don't care. Like, honestly, you're not worth any of my time. So I just went outside to see what my friends were doing, and they were still just out there, you know, chilling. And I was just like, you guys, let's just have fun. You know, we go out to the club, let's have fun. So then we went back to the dance floor. Oh, drama. When we went to the dance floor, there was 2 ways we could go. I wanted to go to the left, so I was walking towards the left, and my friend's like, why are you going that way? I only wanted to go to the left because I wanted to avoid all those chicks that start drama with me every time I come out to this club. She's like, no, let's go this way. So we went that way, and then that girl was like, why are you effing running into me? And I was like, oh my gosh, I did not mean to. It was just like no space in between it. Like, I was trying to walk through without touching anybody, but apparently it just happened. We bumped into each other, so I was like, oh, apologize, my bad, I did not mean to run into you. And then the girl that was talking mess the whole time talked more mess, and then my friend got upset, and then bam, it was just people fighting. I was like, what the heck? Because I was like telling one second I was telling my friend to calm down, the next second you just see all these people fighting, and I kind of like dodged the situation, like the fight, so I wasn't in it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, why is everybody fighting? And then I kind of hopped back in, but by the time I hopped back in, there was like security everywhere pulling everybody every which way, and then they pulled us into a room. Okay, now me, my friend, and her sister are in this room because they were trying to get the other girls kicked completely out and out of the parking lot before we left. So while we were in that room, I was trying to help my friend fix her hair, whatever, and I was like, what the heck just happened? This is crazy, because no one told me what the girl said. No one told me what, like, the second time around what she said, because I was trying to understand like what was going on the whole time, basically, because everything happened so fast. So I was like, what the heck just happened? And my friend's sister's like, I don't know why you're effing talking, because all you did was run away from the fight. I was like, I don't even know what happened. I was just like, the whole time I was basically separated from them. So, and in my mind, I was kind of remembering like what she told me earlier, like, oh, I didn't need to get involved, and basically want. But my friend didn't say anything. She was just like, yeah, Jasmine, you never do anything. You never want to, you know, get in the fights or whatever. Just, it's just who I am. I'm just not a fighter, and maybe I should have jumped into the fight, or you know, there was so many things going through my mind, like maybe I should have done more, whatever, but I didn't. I just didn't, because I wasn't feeling the drama. I told her that from the get-go, like I didn't want to fight and all this other stuff, but whatever. So eventually we got kicked out completely. So we were in the car, and they were basically like, my friend and her sister was basically saying like how bad of a friend I was, whatever. I was kind of over the whole situation. Like literally I just wanted to get my stuff and like walk home. Like I didn't care. I was gonna walk home from the club. I didn't care because I was over it, and I was over them telling me like how horrible of a person I was because I didn't hop into the fight. And so they dropped me off at home. There was no words said. I just got out the car. It was completely silent. I just got out the car, and then I went into my house, and then I felt terrible. Like I wasn't, you know, I didn't do enough because I didn't fight, and you know, I just felt like a bad person. But then again, I'm just like, okay, you can't change yourself for someone to be friends with you, basically. And eventually, like a few minutes later, I'll say like 10 minutes later, they hit me up. Not even, maybe 5 to 10 minutes later, they hit me up and they said, oh, those girls that they fought were following them. And she's just like, oh, I don't want to go to my place, so I'm gonna come back to yours, Jasmine. And I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't thinking anything of it like, oh, you're bringing it to my house so they'll know where I live. But I was like, okay, whatever, you guys can come over. So eventually they came to the house, and they're like, oh, we're outside. And I was like, okay. And they were just like, oh, it was a false alarm. And so they came inside, and they were fixing themselves up, basically. And then my guy friends called. The guys that I was talking to at the club called, and they're like, you know, what happened? Because basically when all the fight happened, they went to the bar, so they missed the whole thing. They hit me up for like, oh, what happened? I was like, oh, we all got kicked out. And he was like, oh, is everything like, are you good? Like, everything okay? And I was like, yeah, you know, I wasn't even involved with it, so of course I'm okay. And then he's like, oh, okay, so he wanted to stop by. But my friend did not want him to stop by, or them to stop by, because they didn't trust them, because they knew the girls. Like because they went to high school, like I told you guys, they went to high school together. But I don't think that they would set that up. They're not the type of people to do that. So I was like, yeah, okay, you guys can stop by or whatever. And then they eventually got to my place, and I went outside while my friend and her sister stayed in the house. So eventually my friends came outside, like my guy friends were like, oh, your friends are, you know, outside, so and so. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went over to her car to see like, oh, you guys are leaving, you know, is everything okay? And it was kind of like very cold shoulder-ish. She was just like, yeah. So I was like, okay. So I kind of went back to my guy friend's car, and I sat in the car. And then when they were driving by, before they went to their house, they stopped. And I was like, oh snap, what's gonna happen? And basically my friend was like, oh, tell my guy friends, tell your friends that we still beat their ass, just 2 against 3. So basically they were saying like it was just her and her sister fought those 3 girls. She kept saying that over and over again, and the guys were like, okay, so we don't talk to those girls, so how would we tell them? Like, we don't mess with them like that, whatever. And then my friend just kept getting madder and madder about it, because like she didn't believe that they are not as tight as she thinks that they are. And the thing just escalated. Basically everybody kept arguing, and then eventually my friend got out of the car and started doing threats onto my guy friend, saying like, oh, I'm gonna get my cousins to beat you guys up, blah blah blah. And my guy friends were not having that. Like, if you're gonna throw threats, you know, follow through with it. And then they were arguing, like everybody got out the car, was arguing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Round 3 of the drama, like I was like, this is ridiculous. Everybody's arguing in the streets, and I was trying to like grab my guy friend and say like, stop, like this is ridiculous. First of all, she's a girl, like why are you arguing with her? Like, everybody just stop. And then eventually, like while I was trying to stop my guy friend from getting all in her face, she was just like, F you, Jasmine. So she turned it on to me, and she was like, F you, Jasmine, like don't effing call me no more. And then she tried to swing at me, and she was trying to hit me. And then one of my guy friends grabbed me and was like, what the heck did Jasmine do? She didn't do anything. So basically she kind of turned on me, and I was like, okay, I'm over this. Like, I'm ready to go back into my house, and I don't need to even be a part of this. So eventually everybody left. I was just like, what the heck just happened? So I talked to my mom about it, and I guess when I was talking to my mom, like, my friend tried to call me, and I didn't answer. I was just like, this whole situation, this whole night was stupid to me. Like, I feel like it was a whole bunch of drama, because I'm not gonna fight everybody that says something about me, because if I were to do that, I would be fighting every day of my life. I feel like people can say whatever they want to say, and at the end of the day, you don't have to fight people for what they say. You know, you can't control other people's mouths. Like, that's just what, if they want to say stuff, if they want to be bitter, just let them be bitter over there, and you have a fun time. That's how I feel. But yeah, that's basically how the story ended. Me and my friend aren't talking anymore after that situation. I feel like it's a stupid situation to lose a friendship. Maybe it was never a friendship to begin with. I don't know. But, just let me know what you guys think about the story. Hopefully it wasn't that long, and give it a thumbs up if you want to hear more story time videos, because I probably have a few more stories I could tell you. And yeah, just leave a comment. So, like, leave it a comment in the comment section below. What would you do if you were in my situation? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. See ya!